Hi guys, I'm going to try to make this video as short as I possibly can. I try to get you guys in and out because to me it's just painful to sit there and listen to a long, drawn out YouTube video. So, this past week I read a post from another YouTuber. They used to do a lot of Kenneka stuff on YouTube, but they seem to have switched over to other social media platforms. So I saw it on one of their other social media platforms, actually. So I contacted them because they said they had this hard proof and they wanted to be paid for their work. And I can understand that to a certain degree. So I contacted them, paid them a very small amount of money, and they sent me a video. I watched the video, and I just didn't see the hard proof. So, after I watched the video, I had several questions. And instead of replying to the questions that I had posed to them, they decided to do another video and sent it to me and answered my questions on their video, and actually pulled up my questions on the video for everyone to see my questions, which that was fine with me because they're legit questions that probably any one of you would have asked the same things. So, I'm going to tell you as best I can what their theory is on the Kenneka Jenkins matter. Okay, so their theory is that that is not Kenneka in the freezer. That is actually a person named Kendra who was in that freezer, who is deceased. And that there's another, I think a lot of people have the theory that there were body doubles used at the Crown Plaza that night. And basically their theory is that this whole thing is a hoax. It's a big scam, that we're being scammed. But their theory is that there were body doubles used that night, which is, a lot of people have that same sentiment. And that they have found one of the body doubles on Instagram who goes by the name of Victoria. And I went to the Instagram page and looked at this Victoria person, and she does look like Kenneka, or who we know as Kenneka. And there are definitely some differences, but there's a lot of similarities between the two people. Now, Victoria has a Instagram store, if you will. It's not really actually an Instagram store, but she sells things via her Instagram page. And she sells things like sunglasses, like Givenchy, like knockoff stuff. Sunglasses, she had like some Givenchy boots, just basic knockoff stuff, replica stuff, and some old bootleg stuff. But anywho, one of her hardcore proof things was that Lenore is following this person, and that this Victoria person, is following Lenore. Well, to me, that wasn't really a whole lot of anything, because I have followed people on Instagram that I don't know personally that do like beauty blogs or fingernail blogs or just any kind of like makeup tutorials, etc., etc., etc. And I don't know these people from a can of paint, but I still follow them and they follow me back. So that to me wasn't a whole lot of anything. And we don't know how long they've been following one another, was another thing. And we don't know at what time Lenore decided to follow her, or if Victoria decided to follow Lenore. We don't know who followed who first, and we don't know what Victoria's profile picture looked like at the time all this went down. Like, she could have had her Instagram stuff that she's selling as her profile picture. We don't know that. So that, to me, wasn't a big hardcore proof type of thing as far as evidence goes. Now, I think a lot of people have found that page. Kendra is awaiting Kylie Coleman page, and it is someone who looks like Kenneka, and in my opinion it is Kenneka. And the reason I say that is because I have a teenager, and well, he's not a teenager anymore, he's 20 now, but I know how they roll. Know them very well. I've raised 3 of them, and they do little silly things like that. They make pages in different names, and they like to follow people or stalk them, or spy on them, or whatever you want to call them. And when I say stalk them, I don't mean like in a malicious type of stalking way, but they do a lot of things. We don't really understand why teenagers are what they are. They're different creatures. So that, to me, was a no-brainer. Like, I didn't think that was strange at all that there was that page. And another thing that I keep seeing all these people post about, a lot of YouTubers in the beginning were posting about, like how they all work for True Religion. We all know that they do not work for True Religion. This is another example of what teenagers put on their Facebook pages that's not true. So, anywho, but this Victoria person lives in Georgia, who is originally from Chicago and is actually back in town in Chicago. That, to me, didn't make me none one way or the other. Another thing that this person said was that Victoria, I'm speaking about, had this person named Kenyatta Shelton on their page, on their Facebook page, and that Monifa is a friend of Kenyatta. Well, that didn't make any difference to me one way or the other, because Monifa is also a Shelton, and that could be a relative of hers. Like, you can't say because a person that's friends with Victoria has Monifa as a friend is a big piece of evidence, because to me that makes me none one way or the other either. So, and that she's also friends with Brianna. I don't know, I lost track of who was following who after a while, because it was, honestly, and I'm not trying to talk about the person, it was just a poorly organized video. And that one of these people is following Brianna Ashley Cotton. So, anywho, I posed some questions to her about, my first question was, why was all this done? If you think this is a hoax, why was this all done? Because if it was for money, the only person that stands to gain anything is Teresa, because Teresa is the one that has the lawsuit pending, and should they ever pay out, and that's a big should they ever pay out any monies to her, it will come to her only. It won't come to anyone else. It will come to her only, and she could literally take that money and run off, and there's nothing anybody could do about it. And when I asked these questions to this person, they kind of took the Donald Trump approach, where you talk in circles long enough, and then you forget that you even have a question that's been asked of you. So, this person said that basically that yes, it was done for money, and that it was an elaborate scheme, and that it had been done, it was years in the making. And then my question was, if if this was such a hoax, there were so many people involved in it that it would be really risky, because you got people from the hotel all the way to the funeral home that would know that this was not who it's supposedly was supposed to be, and all those mouths have to be kept quiet. So, what was used, was there money put out on the front end of it to keep these people quiet? And that person's theory was, since they were all in it together, nobody would have squealed on anybody else. Well, that's not a good theory, because there's always a rat in the bunch. There's always a rat chasing cheese. They get hungry enough, they're going to eat it. So, that was a lot of people, and I'm not buying that. So, this person also said that that's why all these people are coming up dead. And that kind of threw me off a little bit. But anywho, I guess this person was implying that because the people that were squealing were the ones coming up dead. So, I'm curious who those people are. But anywho, my last question to her was, if this person was Kendra, supposedly Kendra, why were Kendra's parents not raising 10 kinds of hell that their daughter was killed in the process of this big scheme? And her reply to me was that, basically, Teresa hangs out with all these young girls, that these young girls didn't have, they were like fosters, I guess, and that Teresa had powers of attorney over them, and there was nobody to scream up and down about their kid being killed in the hotel. And as far as I know, I've not heard of Teresa Martin having any powers of attorney on anybody else. So, and definitely not any that were filed in the courthouse, because that would have been dug up quite easily. But, I just wanted to kind of tell you guys what I had been... Oh, one other thing. There was a picture that this person showed from 2010 that it was kind of grainy. And I admit that I watched it on my TV instead of on my phone, so maybe that was the difference, but it still wouldn't have make or break it type situation, because there was a picture from 2010 showing what appeared to be Monifa in the picture and Kenneka, but this picture was supposedly posted on this Victoria's page, so I don't really know about that, but none of this really compelled me to think one way or the other. It certainly didn't change any of my opinions or answer any of my questions. So, anywho, I just wanted to tell you what I had been doing in the background. But I did find it interesting, and now this person doesn't want anything to do with the Kenneka case. So, anywho, I wanted to just kind of pass that information along to let you all know that I do a lot of stuff on the back end, and that was just one of the things that I did. But that's all I have for tonight. This thing has puzzled me all week, so I just wanted to tell somebody else so maybe that it could puzzle them. But I'm going to make this short and sweet, so I'm going to get off here, but hope you guys have a good weekend. Thanks.